I know deep down in my heart that if I do not follow some type of weight loss plan, that I will be 500 pounds one day.
Twerk, 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 twerk.
Gentlemen, welcome. Please find a seat and relax. We have a lot to discuss.
Welcome one and all. I am DC.
And I'm Casey.
And we are two goddamn gentlemen bringing you this time of the month and this time every future month a celebration of all things having your looks go on the decline at 25. KC, it's finally here. You know about the Patreon, twogoddamngentlemen.com. Obviously you're here, you get it. But KC, what are the goddamn gentlemen in store for tonight?
The epitome of elegance and etiquette, DC.
I don't believe you.
And and actually, you had something in there about having your looks decline at 25. I might actually have an honorary that goes through what they call the epiphany stage. So,
no, that's fine.
You know,
okay,
might actually tie into that nicely. No, DC, elegance and etiquette. That's at least coming from my side. So, if you doubt it, then I would have to imagine that's on your end.
Yeah, it probably is a little bit on my end. I tend to bring in the real, real awful ones.
I don't know. I've done quite a few.
Yeah, you did Amy Schumer. What the fuck am I
Amy
talking
Schumer
about?
Was terrible. Yeah, she was
Fuck
awful.
That.
DC, as everybody knows, this is a bonus show. We dive straight into it. It is nomination time.
Yes.
I'll open tonight, and my nomination, classic KC going classic past, the Countess Elizabeth Bathory. And if you're going to call me out on that pronunciation, first off, good on you for knowing who that is. And second off, impressive, because she has a couple different pronunciations I found online, but I'm going to go with that one. So we're going to go with Bathory. DC.
Man, that's a weird-shaped person.
Yeah, she's odd.
Yeah.
She was born in 1560. And there ends the hard facts of this nomination. Some of the facts that are to come were 100% true. Some of them are 50% believed. Some less. That said, it's old and it's unclear and we're unprofessional. So we'll be treating all of it as fact.
Perfect.
I treated this as though the word allegedly was dirty, and I have replaced it by definitely and all kinds of other words in all cases.
Undoubtedly.
Away we go.
Here we go.
The Bathory family owned a ton of land in the Kingdom of Hungary, spanning modern-day Hungary, Slovakia, Romania. As a child, Elizabeth suffered multiple seizures, and that may have been caused by epilepsy, possibly stemming from the inbreeding of her parents.
We'll never know.
We will never know.
I thought the possiblies were going to be substituted with definitelys.
In certain cases, I suppose. Okay. In the ones that matter, DC, we're going to commit. That's the general theme. And you won't know when I committed. She did have epilepsy, although it was... All right, so DC is the 1560s. What did they diagnose her with? She had epilepsy.
Witchcraft.
No, she survived. It was diagnosed as falling sickness.
Oh, okay.
Now the treatments are good. They seem helpful, including rubbing the blood of a non-sufferer, so a non-epileptic. Take some of their blood and rub it on the epileptic's lips. That usually helps a little bit.
That helps me.
I would agree. Mm-hmm. And then toward the end of their episodes, they would be given more blood from a non-sufferer and what was described as a piece of skull. Now, I'm not sure if they were supposed to do something with the skull or if it's just supposed to bring good vibes, I guess. I'm not really sure. Or they eat it. Maybe they eat it.
Who knows?
Yeah. She was raised as a Calvinist Protestant and DC, a lady indeed. As a young child, she learned Latin, German, Hungarian, and Greek.
Damn.
Now, that makes sense because she could be well-schooled. She was born into a very privileged family of nobility.
It looks like it.
She was surrounded by wealth, education, and just the best of life in the 1500s as you would want. At 13, before her first marriage, she absolutely gave birth to a child. At 13. The father of the child was a peasant boy, and her family forced her to give up the baby to a family friend. So,
oh, bastard.
Yep, you hate to see it. Bathory was engaged at age 10 to the Count Ferenc Nadasadi. This guy.
Oh, he looks kind of pedophile-y.
We're just going to call him Ferenc from now on, or the Count.
Yeah.
In what was absolutely a political arrangement, their marriage. Now, this was an interesting one, because Elizabeth actually had better social standing than Count Ferenc did. Her family was wealthier and more powerful, and her being a countess, for whatever reason, she was of higher standing. She refused to change her last name because of this.
Okay.
And now the Count, he's like, oh, well, I understand. I'll take your last name.
Yeah, seriously. His last name sucks, though, in all honesty. His last name was
true.
Fucking terrible.
Nadasty, who knows?
Who knows?
Who cares? Because now it's Bathory.
That's right.
So the couple got married when she was 15. He was 19.
Okay.
In front of 4,500 people. And his wedding gift to her was his family home. The castle of, we're going to call it Cest. No idea if that's right. This is a beautiful place, as you can tell.
Oh, yeah.
So, 1578, she's 23 years old. Noted cuck, the Count, became the chief commander of the Hungarian troops, leading them to war against the Ottomans. And while her husband was away, Elizabeth, being a lady of upstand and great knowledge, is put in charge of all the affairs in the estates. She does a good job. So the Long War comes around. And she's once again charged with not only, looking after the people, but with the defense of the castle and the estate, because it was directly on the route to Vienna, and that put it under significant threat. She did a great job.
Nice.
Reports vary, and I didn't feel like we had to be definite on this one, because who gives a fuck? She had 5 to 7 children. Reports are mixed. She didn't give a shit. She let the governesses handle all that bullshit anyway.
Yeah, it was fucked beyond recognition after 5 anyway, so it doesn't matter if it,
Yeah, exactly.
She's
it's
ruined.
Just a disaster zone
Just
in there.
a mess.
So Ferenc, we remember him. He dies at 48 years old. His illness was a mystery, but it didn't sound fun. By the way, all illnesses were mysteries.
All illnesses were probably cancer.
Yeah, that's right. This one started with leg pain, and it got progressively worse. He was disabled within 2 years. So he's dead. He was married to Elizabeth for 29 years. Seems like fun. She was a great lady. We'll talk a little bit about what she was up to during that time. Okay. Before dying, he entrusted both his children and his wife to this high-ranking guy named Gyoji Thurzo. And, you're going to be in charge of protecting the wife and kids now.
Mm-hmm.
So let's wind it back a tiny bit. 1602 to 1604. Rumors of Elizabeth's hobbies, that what she's up to in her free time, are starting to spread.
Like weaving and stuff like that?
That's right, and basket making. She was huge into baskets. This Lutheran minister made complaints against her to the court and just walking, I guess, down the street, like publicly. Just, hey, I think she's a shithead. So
Elizabeth sucks. Elizabeth sucks. Everybody, Elizabeth sucks.
The Hungarian authorities, and I like how this was worded, took some time to respond to his complaints. Remember,
so not much changes.
He complained in the early 1600s. 1610 is when the king is like, okay, Thurzo, and we remember him. You're a high-ranking guy. You know the family. Why don't you investigate what she's been up to? Because these accusations are wild. The things that we're hearing about this fine lady. So he hires a couple helpers, and by October of 1610, they've collected 52 witness statements. And by the next year in 1611, they had over 300 witness statements.
I'll bet it was not hard to get a witness statement back before cameras. You saw that, right? Yeah, I saw it. I totally saw it.
So, DC, what on earth was going on to cause this big a ruckus? Elizabeth really enjoyed young ladies, but not the way you'd like, not the way you'd be hoping for.
Well, we'll see.
According to the testimonies, her first victims were girls 10 to 14 years old. Mm-hmm. The most consistent accusations against her included severe beatings, burning or mutilation of the hands, biting the flesh off of the face, arms, or other body parts, or freezing to death / starving to death. And just for the record, the biting thing, definitely eating them.
Oh, yeah, definitely eating them. And by the way, freezing to death, awesome way to go.
That does sound, yeah, it's probably euphoric, right? Because all your nerve endings probably, yeah.
You just go to sleep. You just fucking go to sleep, and then you don't wake up. That's it.
Later, if I get really rich, I'm going to wire my bedroom to be a freezer, but only if my heart rate goes out.
Yeah.
Right? Or
if my heart rate gets below
if it's like
this
slowing
level,
really bad, yeah. If it's out, it doesn't matter. But yeah, if your heart rate slows really down, it's like, all right, freeze him.
the temperature in Fahrenheit must match my heartbeat. If it gets to 0, that bitch is going to. Oh, I guess that's too late. Oh
well. Elizabeth liked messing with these girls, and by messing with, I mean torturing and murdering. She began killing the daughters of the lesser plebs in town, who were sending them to her for etiquette training. I made a promise and I delivered. She was also kidnapping some strange girls off the street. I'm guessing in horseback and carriage. Lots of mentions of needles in court, poking different body parts, maybe the eyeballs. Who knows?
Probably.
There was a lot of different forms of torture that were suggested. According to the Budapest City Archives, some girls were burned with hot tongs, and then I think helping. She put them in freezing cold water. Sounds like it would help. Maybe not. Covered them in honey and live ants. Basically, the point is that a lot of people went to work at this house or learned things at this house and then didn't leave. And that apparently became noticeable in a town where, again, you probably never went 4 miles away. So you know
they just had like a revolving door and like a now hiring sign. Just
right.
Everybody goes in, no one ever comes out.
Job never came off LinkedIn. It was just
like
there the whole
opposite
time.
of Willy Wonka. Everyone's having a horrible time in there. I guess it's the same. It's the same as Willy Wonka.
Yeah, it's the same as Willy Wonka. Yeah,
just drowning kids in melted fudge.
Raising them all the way up in the gravity machine and then turning it the fuck off. Just...
I've heard that you like blueberries, yeah? Have some blueberry juice. Just pumps her full of blueberries.
So these two court officials, Benedict and Jakob, they claimed to have personally witnessed countless torturings and killings of young girls, which confused me. Were they helping? Someone talk to them. Maybe they should be arrested. December of 1610. It is decided that she'll be arrested and her estate will be seized. Thurzo, we remember him, went to her castle and arrested her, along with 4 of her servants who were accused of being accomplices in her big plot. According to Thurzo's letter that he sent to his wife, his unannounced visit found 1 dead girl and at least another one living prey in the castle. But there's no witness statement from her on record. So either she didn't exist or maybe didn't have a mouth. Who knows? She was arrested during dinner. But it was rumored that she was arrested covered in blood and mid-torture. So she was actually arrested covered in blood and mid-torture. In classic 1600s style.
But it also could have been at dinner. So
it could have been.
In all fairness, it also could have been at dinner.
But it wasn't at dinner. She was eating the person.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
The person was dinner.
In classic 1600s style, DC, she's in a prominent family, so naturally, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
We can't be disgracing this important Bathory family. Her assets, which she's in charge of, her husband's dead, they would all go to the crown in this case, and nobody wants that. Thurzo, Paul, and her 2 sons or sons-in-law, they originally were like, we have this great plan. Let's send her to a nunnery where she can just become a nun.
Yeah, she can just kill the nuns. That'd be great.
My question was like, was their second idea daycare? Like, what the fuck?
Like the most helpless people. Let's have her work hospice because, speed that shit up.
All right, so Bathory, nunnery. She preyed on wayward young women? Nunnery's good. All right.
Yeah, nunnery's good. God doesn't have anything against anything she did, does he? He forgives though, right? Good. Let's get her in there.
Just gotta ask.
Just gotta ask.
DC, nobody witnessed any of her crimes. The only eyewitnesses that did testify against her were her servants. How did they get their testimony?
They were there.
And, well, the servants were tortured for their testimony. So,
there you go.
Natural. No worries, though. After the torture, they were executed.
Oh, good.
So all of her charges were technically based on rumor. And speaking of rumor, the highest number of victims cited at her trial was 650.
Wow. Okay.
Now, they didn't have any material evidence, which, really? Like, what are you guys doing?
You couldn't even find, like, a finger anywhere? It's like, hey.
He found one in the house. Like, what are you talking about? But either way, because of her family status, she's not getting put to death, but she's not getting out. Mm-hmm. So she was given home arrest, DC.
Nice.
Castle.
And unlike her, that castle is impregnable.
Now, Thurzo's like, no. This is not your normal house arrest. She's going to be locked in a brick room.
Yeah. No, there's people living in this house. We're going to put her her ass away from people.
He's like, all right, we're putting her in a brick room. But according to people that were in and around the house, she was not in a brick room. She was just walking around the house. It was fine. So she had castle arrest.
She's just walking around.
Yeah. Anybody new here?
Anyone who doesn't know who I am, good. This way. Right this way.
So, as any good mother would, while she's stuck at home, she leaves will, leaving everything to her children. August 1614. There's nothing I love more than 1600s medical stories, aside from 1500 medical stories. 1614, Elizabeth complains to her bodyguard that her hands are cold. It's reported that he said, quote, it's nothing, mistress. Go lie down. DC, what happened next?
She died.
She died. That's right. Of course she died. She was 54 when she died. Originally buried in the town cemetery, but they were really pissed about that for some reason, so they moved her to the family crypt.
Seems kind of petty.
Yeah, get over it. Here's the her legacy, DC. Mm-hmm. Some authors think that she was the victim of a conspiracy. She was a powerful, wealthy woman in the 1600s and a widow, so vulnerable. Mm-hmm. And she had loaned a bunch of money to the crown that was forgiven upon her arrest.
Well, was the crown living in her house murdering people while she was in there? Because, I mean, if not, that's a terrible conspiracy theory.
Yeah, of course, the 300 witness statements and piles of evidence, and she was accused by a Lutheran who had no crown loyalty, and there were still dying people in the castle when she was arrested. But aside from that, yeah, I think it was a conspiracy, too.
I think so, too, yeah. It holds water, for sure.
The actual presumed culprit, sadistic pleasure, naturally. Some people believed her epilepsy and the treatment for it led to her behavior. Some people say she was trained by her family. There were stories from her childhood where she witnessed brutal punishments, including Satanism and witchcraft being taught by her family members. So she learned some cool shit. She's been labeled by Guinness World Records as the most prolific female murderer of all time.
Hey! All right.
A true lady. Her victim number is debated, but I heard 650, so it's 650. Yeah. There are stories of her having vampiric tendencies, including that she bathed in the blood of virgins to retain her youth. Mm-hmm. And some insist that she inspired Dracula, though there is no evidence to support this. It definitely happened.
Definitely. She definitely looks like him. That's all the evidence I need to know.
Elizabeth Bathory, a true lady.
Oh, I love it. That was good. Another one from the annals of history. Great work.
She was a solid lady. Now, DC, I am excited for some honoraries. Let's dive in. I have a story for you. If you would please read the headline.
Yeah, sure. Depraved prison guard sentenced for having sex with inmate while other prisoners watched.
Now, this honorary lady gets the real nod as an honorary lady for one piece of innovation in the story. And DC, you'll know it when you get to it. Go ahead.
A California corrections officer convicted of having sex with an inmate in full view of other prisoners will spend 210 days in jail, then serve 2 years of probation. Tina Gonzalez, 27, admitted to the crimes, and her attorney, Martin Telesnik, claimed her marriage was falling apart when she committed the acts.
That is fair reasoning, in my opinion.
That is fair reasoning.
Lots of marriages fall apart, and no one knows the proper way to cope with that is to have sex with prisoners.
Well, it's his fucking fault for marrying a 27-year-old jail guard that was that hot. What the fuck did he think was going to happen?
Sure. Probably
Last name
that.
Gonzalez?
Probably
it was in her
not
blood.
that, I would think. Yeah.
That was going to happen. That was just anybody who's seen a prison documentary or, fan fiction piece. We all know. All the guards look like her.
Just know the nature of women in general.
What the fuck would happen if a jailbreak were to happen and that is the guard? What are they thinking? Like, you have to hire somebody that looks like China from the WWF. Otherwise, it is the worst position that you could possibly fill as a hot woman.
Yeah, first off, to answer your question, if there's a jailbreak and she's the guard, she dies. That's the answer.
Yep.
And the next two sentences are really good. This is a lawyer trying to get away with something, and a story writer going, no, you're not getting away with that.
It was never her intention to bring any harm or danger to the employees in the jail or anyone else in the jail, said Telesnik. In addition to sex, Gonzalez reportedly gave the inmate razor blades and a cell phone. She also tipped him off of cell searches.
Okay, so not great by the lawyer. Now, DC, let's get to the final image and also why she's an honorary lady.
Dude, she's the worst negotiator of all time.
She's not great. She's not great.
She should be getting the services, not giving services and the sex anyway. At times, communicated sensitive information to the inmate about individuals that were entering the inmate's pod, as well as times when the pod would be searched, said prosecutor Caitlin Drake. Cutting a hole in your pants to make it easier to have sex with an inmate and having intercourse in full view of 12 other inmates is something only a depraved mind could come up with. Or a
there it is.
6-year-old.
An honorary lady, DC. She cut a hole in her pants. That was unnecessary. She didn't have to do that, but she did.
I disagree. She did have to. Because what are you going to do if someone comes around the corner and you got to just be like, what? What are you going to pull up your pants with all that shit on your belt? You know, your fucking handcuffs will be jangling. Your gun might go off.
And thus, an honorary lady. She goes the extra mile.
That's right. And thus, DC's depraved mind, apparently.
DC.
Yeah.
My next honorary is Jen Psaki, the White House press reporter.
God damn it. Okay.
With a COVID update and my prediction on how it could go.
The president will outline 5 areas his team is focused on to get more Americans vaccinated. 1, targeted community-by-community door-to-door outreach to get remaining Americans vaccinated by ensuring they have the information they need.
Excuse me. Like, I almost want to shoot the guy just coming to ask me if I'm white or if I have a job. Like, I can't deal with these door-to-door people who are vaccinated. Unbelievable.
It's great. DC, you mentioned early in the show losing your age at 20, or losing your looks at 25.
Right.
Here we have a lady in her 30s who reaches that critical epiphany stage right in front of us in her video.
All right.
This is for my girls in their 30s and up, like me. And this is why I think dating isn't working out for us girls. If you know, you know. So these guys are going on these dating apps and these younger girls are looking fucking fabulous contouring. It's not fair. We didn't have that. We were looking ratchet and we looked young. But these girls look old as hell. So they're going out plowing all of these little chickadees. Well, we get screwed because here's the deal. They don't need to be respected. They don't need to be taken on fancy dinners. They can just go out and pick and choose all these beautiful little girls walking around with their fat asses.
Uh-huh.
Meanwhile, we were waiting, you know, and we've already passed the little host stage. We're not having sex. So we're not putting out, but they are. And these men, why would they want to settle down with us when they can fuck a different girl every fucking night?
So that was the light bulb going on. Now how does she close?
With denial, probably.
Men are pigs.
Huh. Yeah, denial.
And the light bulb goes out.
Yeah. She could do with a little cardio, first of all. I hope she's watching this. She probably isn't, but she could do with a little cardio and an attitude adjustment. Because she's been living life. She was hot. Like, you could tell she was hot. Not now, because she's definitely after 25, but she was hot at one point. And she could have been living life on easy mode, but she probably had morals getting in the way, so whatever. Like, what do you want?
Oops.
Sorry. Oops.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, you
DC,
fucked up.
I finally learned what the plus stands for.
You've heard of LGBTQ, right? Well, I'm LGBTQ plus edition. That's right. I'm plus size and gay.
Hey! Hey! Stop it.
Oh shit!
I don't like either of those things. No.
Someone better tell her that like that was the first thing. Yeah, yes. Fat lesbian chicks was the first thing. So
it's covered. We already have the letter for that. DC, this is my new favorite song.
Okay.
Woman priest is my call, women preaching for all. Don't listen to St. Paul, cause I can lead the way. My ministry's growing, excommunication, I'm still glowing. MDiv, shouts were flowing. Where you think the church is going? Hey, I was baptized, and this is crazy. God just called me, so ordain a lady. Justice doesn't look right, with only male priests, but God just called me.
Oh, it's just going too long, Casey. Shit.
It's gonna be a no from me, dog.
Nah, that's a no from me, dog. That's a great. Oh man, this is a great use of your time. These edits.
Yeah,
these were a great fucking use of your time.
I don't have too much free time right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely not at all. Dude, somebody better tell her that she just needs to pretend to be a man like that woman pope who got away with it back in probably the 1600s. I don't know exactly the date. Somebody in the chat can probably tell us. But yeah, some woman tricked God and like made herself into a man and they made her the fucking pope. Oops.
That's awesome.
How the fuck do you come back from that and be like, nah, just kidding. We still actually are a real church that teaches truth, even though our God fucked up and made the one person that's supposed to be his only true, like, pure mouthpiece at the pinnacle of our church. We made them the, Jesus Christ. Idiots.
But not literally.
She probably died, too. She probably died. That was probably her penance for being so woke way too early.
Well, DC, you just segued into this is becoming one of my favorite segments on the show. And it's time to learn, DC. You just said the word woke. Time to do some learning for some of our audience.
It's really disturbing the number of white women who are within the health and wellness and therapy spaces who actively deny the system of white supremacy and the role that they play within it.
Agreed. Get your shit together, white women.
Seriously. You guys are the one. It's only what you think that matters. If white women stopped liking gay people and pretending to be like so guilty about all the racism that their great grandparents did, if they just stopped doing all that shit and they were like, nah, we actually just want hot men who are muscular and fucking take care of shit, and I'm okay with doing my shit that he doesn't want to do because, you know, it's on the other end of the spectrum and we're different people and together we'll actually make a functioning system work. They don't want to do that. They want to be the men and fail at that while their men become the women and succeed at that to a astonishing rate that sucks because now they're just taking over all their shit, which is kind of funny. That part of it's kind of funny.
That part's okay. Let's continue.
I'm a music therapist.
I'm not listening then. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let's keep going.
I'm a music therapist. It's a predominantly white, woman-dominated field, and the number of conversations that I've had with people who become extremely upset at being called in to examine their privilege is seriously disconcerting.
How many people is she calling out on their privilege every day? Is that your whole day?
And why did she need to say white? It's predominantly a woman-run profession.
Because if she said it was a predominantly woman-run profession, then she's a part of the problem.
Yeah.
No, she's a part of the. She needs to separate herself. She saw another chance to be a minority, so she had to take it.
Correct. Does she understand that by being an Asian woman, she is the most majority you can possibly be?
Yeah, that's actually true. That's
the most majority you can possibly be is an Asian woman, but whatever.
And think about if they let them all live. Be even more.
Yeah.
So, DC, the big recipe for these woke pieces online that I've learned is that you have to wrap it up with words that sound smart but are in fact stupid.
These are the same people who state that they cannot possibly have any prejudice or bias because they work with people of color. And that makes no sense. How do you have these conversations with your clients? There is no such thing as cultural competency, only cultural humility. And we need to be humble when we are learning about our roles within this system. Examine your privilege.
Yeah. Fix your shit, white bitches. That's right.
Fix your shit, white bitches. Meanwhile, we'll be over here making fun of Koreans because we're Japanese like that. Fucking idiot.
They're allowed. That's fine.
They're allowed.
DC.
Yeah.
There you go. There's my nominations.
Casey, that was fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for that.
I enjoyed.
All right. I don't know how many honorees I have, but we'll get into it. I think it's 3 or 4. Casey. Oh, actually more, because I have a segment. I have an honorary segment. Oh, this is good. I'm so excited for this, Casey. Oh, here we go. Casey, let's stay in the whole woke sphere with a transgender couple. Now, this one is... This one is a doozy. This is a transgender woman. This is her. This is a transgender man. A woman who is biologically a woman and is a transgender man. And she married a transgender woman who is a man that went to a woman. They had a baby together. Guess which one of the couple had the baby? The husband.
The husband.
The husband had the baby. That's correct. Because it's a biological woman.
Yeah, because it's the only way they could. That's right.
Casey, go ahead and play this nice little snippet here.
Are we not assigning a sex to the baby? DC is forcing me to label myself as the mother. And that's not the case. Patrona is the mother.
This whole birth certificate thing is really causing me a lot of hurt. Trans women can be mothers.
Oh, I put it over here.
Okay, Casey. So if you noticed, the transgender woman, who is a biological man, was trying to breastfeed this infant, while the transgender man had her tits blurred out to the side of him.
Yeah,
which I have never seen a husband have their tits blurred out. In fact, the baby sucking on his tit was not blurred out. The baby's face was, because God forbid this child ever be identified in the future after its parents kill themselves in some fucking who knows what in a few years.
It's just irresponsible. Like, this is a network. Like, even in old family videos, we always blurred out the kids sucking on the men's nipples. Like, that's that's just class.
So, Casey, this video angered and confused me in ways that just kind of left me speechless. So I'm going to let one of our prior gentlemen rip this apart.
Now, this is not going to work because it turns out that biological males do not have milk ducts. So it's going to be rather difficult for the baby to get any sort of nutrition from all of this, of course.
Difficult. Impossible.
But it doesn't matter so long as these people feel better about themselves. Sure, the baby's going to starve to death, but at least the delusional parents feel better about themselves. And this is being championed. These are civil rights heroes. Civil rights heroes. There's a man who's sticking his nipple in the mouth of a child, in the mouth of a small baby, in a bizarre attempt to nourish the baby with literally nothing. And you're a bigot if you disagree, don't you? So don't worry. You're the authoritarian for suggesting there is a problem here.
Smart.
Yeah. Yeah, well
Smart.
said.
Casey, let's keep on the smart train with more shit that whites are fucking up.
You can't get access to good health care, good insurance. The research says that black women, when we do the same diets as white women, we lose less weight and we lose it slower, even when we're following the diet than our white women counterparts.
How does she know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If black women lose less weight following a diet than white women, shouldn't they still be losing weight? Like, what the fuck are you doing, you blimp? What? How can you sit? This is like somebody saying something so stupid as, well, when white people and black people read the same books, white people learn 98% of the information, whereas black people only learn 96% of the information. Well, what did you do about that? I threw the book in the trash. I threw that book in the fucking trash. I am not trying to get only 96% smart. I threw that book in the trash. I'm not reading it at all. 100% smart. Fucking. So, Casey, if you'll continue, she goes on.
And what public health practitioners think is that our stress responses in the body change our metabolism. It's literally that the racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you the same.
Okay, smart. That's smart.
Wait. Even the principle of... All right. So we're directly in the Joe Rogan demographic. Like we're it, and we're guilty of it, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Right. So the equivalent of that would be like Joe Rogan does a live podcast with what's her fucking name? The smart ass neuroscientist, like whatever, of the health experts that he has on, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And they're sitting there and they're talking about like, all right, so I did a lot of Lance Armstrong research last week. So they were talking a lot about like your ability to fight off lactate, right, and have your muscles continue to work through.
Mm-hmm.
And if like the scientist is like, yeah, so in white males, it's typical that the lactate rate is actually 0.4 times faster than that of their black counterpart. And like they cut to the audience, and it's just like 80 white guys going like, mm-hmm, yep. Yep, mm-hmm. Absolutely. Like all those women were like, yes, that's right. Yes, it's like you don't know that because it's not true. Stop nodding.
That is why I'm fat. I feel that every time someone shouts a racist remark in my imagination, it just makes me that much more fat.
It's the exact same thing as the Star Wars Family Guy clip where Peter Han Solo goes, the Force. You don't believe that, do you? The thing you learned about... Or no, sorry. I fucked that up. Luke is talking about the Force. Forget it. That thing you learned about 15 minutes ago was the point. That, that thing you learned about 15 minutes? Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah. That changed your life? Yeah.
I just learned that, and now it is gospel.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's racism again, Casey. It's racism. Casey, are you ready to be aroused?
Today I'm taking a pole dancing class in Las Vegas.
Nope.
Okay, wait.
I'm not.
It might be the skinny chick. It might be the skinny chick, DC. Let's not rush to our guns here.
Now, when I first started in the class, I felt super awkward. I was like, what am I doing?
That's what we're all thinking, I think. What are we doing?
That's what the poll's thinking.
Yeah. I am only rated for a ton. Did you guys know that? I'm only bolted to the floor with half-inch thick bolts. I don't think I should be going through this. Okay, so yeah, that's what we're all thinking. But hey, there's probably somebody that likes this kind of thing, right?
And I let myself just get into the mood. So yeah, I'm crawling on the floor. Yeah, I'm awkwardly standing on a chair. Yeah, I am performing to no one. It doesn't matter because sexiness comes from within. And that day, I was a sex goddess.
Take whatever booty you can find, but remember, the beast is mine!
Gaston likes some barge tier, so remember that. Oh, what a pimp move by him. Casey, this might be my favorite group of videos that I've ever found because I want to take you, we're going to stay in the transgender sphere here, and
How nice of us not to change.
Yeah, my my pet topic here, my pet theme of sports, okay? I am a champion of women's only sports because I think it's just going to cause more complaining if we just have all men, which is where it's going now, right? Men are taking over women's sports by claiming that they're transgender. You being in Connecticut, you probably heard about the story of the 2 boys who were transgender girls, and they took first and second in the 100-meter dash. Men are better than women. Thank you, chat. I agree. Jess Alablanc. Men are better women. That's right. Sorry. That's correct too. So Casey, have you ever wondered what it would look like if a dominant pro athlete had like gone trans early on and done like a different sport but in women's and just like still dominated?
No, but it's a timeline I wish we could live because that's hilarious.
Well, I know it's a stretch in this first video because this person didn't really look like any of the male athletes that I wanted to go with. But imagine like Tyson Fury. You know Tyson Fury, big, bald, white British dude, heavyweight champ of the world. If he had played women's basketball, Casey, next video.
She has put the pain of a suicide attempt at age 15 and 2 failed marriages behind her. Her oldest daughter calls her dad, but she's fine with that.
You search and search for what that thing is.
51,
and then when you finally
playing
become
college
educated
women's
enough
basketball.
to understand what's afflicting you, you can decide to do something about it.
Ludwig completed a gender change operation back in July.
Yeah, so it's fine.
Oh, man.
Totally fine. 50 years as a man, but back in July, she had a sex change, so...
Decent job on the sex change face-wise. Like, she looks like an old lady.
They all look like old ladies at some point, Casey. So that was pretty close, right? Tyson Fury. It's not exact. I thought maybe Phil Mickelson, you know. But this one's spot on.
He's got the tits for it.
Yeah, this one is spot fucking on, Casey. What if Brock Lesnar was playing women's handball?
Oh no. I've never played this, and I would dominate this game if I was in it.
Yeah.
I could do exactly what he just did. She.
Yay team, just head over everybody else. Casey, that one was pretty good, right? Pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
This next one, though, this one's the best one. It fucking nails it. Here's if Kobe Bryant had played women's water polo. Oh, yeah. Boo. You're right. You're right, Casey.
Agreed, Casey.
All right, Casey. That's my honoraries. Without further ado, Casey, if you'd play the next image for me. My lady of the night is Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, look at her years ago. God damn it.
Yeah.
What a disappointment.
It is a disappointment, really. And to show how disappointing really it is, I found the perfect video for her. It goes through her whole life, basically, in like picture form, showing, birth to now. Go ahead and push play on that for me, if you would. There she goes, baby, kid.
Yeah.
Oof, yeah. Yuck. Yuck. She is a filth scalp, also known as a redhead, with Satan spots, also known as freckles. Plagued her basically her whole childhood.
That's good.
Yeah, filth scalp. We've all known one or two. Right. Casey, she got into acting like absurdly early in life. She was a model for Ford modeling agency, which is weird enough was Gerald Ford's and his wife's like modeling agency. I don't know why the president of the United States had a modeling agency for young girls, but anyway,
strange.
It's very strange. So she did that. At the age of like 6 or 7, I think, really young. She did a Jell-O commercial with Bill Cosby, like before she was ever famous. A couple weeks ago,
gets a
gentleman,
thumbs up
Bill
from
Cosby
mom.
gets a thumbs up from mom.
And Bill gets a thumb up, mom. Sorry.
Yep. Nah, too old. Okay, so Casey, at the age of 10, she was on a soap opera called Another World, and Soap Opera Magazine basically called her a veteran in the industry by that point. So she was off to a fast start. She had been in 60 commercials by the time she was 10 years old.
Jesus.
Born in the Bronx, right? So her mom could get her to and from auditions fairly easily, and she was basically ruined. You do that much work before you're fucking 12 years old, you're ruined. So let's keep playing the video a little bit. Let's go a little further on in her age. Parent Trap.
Yep.
Freaky Friday. And she's 18! All right! Lindsay Lohan in Mean Girls. Which, by the way, Lacey Chabert. Oh, my God. So hot. So fucking hot, dude.
To Google that one tomorrow.
Gotta Google Lacey Chabert. She's very Christian, but still, she's hot. So she does that. Obviously, she blows up. She starts doing model shoots. She starts going to all the hottest parties. In 2004, she starts dating Wilder Valderrama from that 70s show. Fez from that 70s show. So things are popping for her, right? And the fame and everything, it starts to add up. Go ahead and keep playing the video. There we go. Getting a little older, a little worn, different hairstyles.
Mm-hmm.
Looking pretty good. Oh, starting to get.
Things are happening.
Drugs. Drugs. You hate to see it. I think this was like 6 months after the Mean Girls picture, so it happened pretty quick.
Shit.
I'm just kidding. This was years after. But in January 2007, she starts down a path of a whole shit ton of trouble, and I've just picked out some highlights that I thought were really funny. So January 2007, she enters rehab for the first time at 21 years old. In May 2007, she's been out of rehab. She gets a DUI. So rehab totally worked. Good job.
Mm-hmm. Nailed it.
Let's do it again. She goes back to rehab. July 2 months later, July 2007, 2 weeks after she's out, she runs a woman down in her car drunk and gets arrested for DUI again and coke possession, and also driving with a suspended license, obviously. She goes back to rehab again in August. Also in August, she starts getting court hearings for this original DUI. And in November of 2007, she gets sentenced to 1 day in prison. Casey,
that'll show her.
That'll show her. Casey, she served, as we all know, no one serves their whole time in jail, especially if you have good behavior. Excuse me. Oh, as I smack my microphone, and that probably fucked the audio, so I'll check that in a bit. But I need a sip of dirt water here real quick.
You still sound fine. You sound better than my Family Guy reiteration. That's
good. That's good. So it did creep up on me a little bit. That's all right. We'll bring it right back down. There we go. Now, Lindsay served how long, do you think, Casey, of her 1 day sentence?
So 1 day sentence. Now, you think if someone gets 10 years and they get good behavior, they serve 6.5, right?
Yep.
So
yeah.
She served 13, 14 hours?
84 minutes.
Oh, so close.
She served 84 minutes, and the sheriff funnily explained that she was released due to jail overcrowding. I just think it took him 84 minutes to come. So
no, it's like the guards were like, yo, she is a cunt. There is one too many people back here. This jail's overcrowded. We better get her out.
Or, hey, I could get you out of here.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to serve the whole time.
That's
not even an hour and a half. What a joke. So July of 2010, we're skipping forward a little bit. still in relation to this first series of DUIs, Lohan has been missing her alcohol class that she was supposed to do, that she had got extensions and extensions to do. She still didn't do it, and she had to go back to court to face the judge. Casey, here's how that went.
30 days in jail on the reckless driving case.
Uh-oh. Oops. Oops. She then broke down, sobbing after that.
It looked like she was surprised. It looked like she wasn't expecting that outcome.
I'm surprised it was only 30 days, and I should have been surprised because she added another 30 and another 30, giving her 90 days in jail, of which she served 2 weeks. So again, this 50% time served for good behavior, she's getting the fucking lion's share of free time on her jail sentences. Can't believe it.
The only thing better would be under castle arrest. That would be nicer.
Under castle arrest, free roam at the castle. I thought this, and this is the same judge talking a little bit later about her sentencing and punishment. I thought this punishment was weird.
She's not to drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license and insurance in her possession.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like
yeah,
what?
Good job, Judge.
Are we allowed to do that anyway? No.
Well, what other laws is she supposed to follow, Judge? Can you run them off?
She is no longer allowed to run people over with her car. For the record, she can't do that anymore.
Without expressed permission, she is not allowed to run somebody over with a car. Casey, in between all of that, as a lady does, as we found out, she had an album release that did not great in Germany. And worse everywhere else. It's shit fuck awful. I looked at YouTube for the video, and it wasn't even worth bringing in here. It wasn't. It was right in between, because they made her sound. The producers who wrote and produced this whole fucking thing made her just sound like Britney Spears. So she's just a fucking knockoff of Britney Spears, and you can't really tell how bad or good it is. The song is just cringe, lukewarm. It's awful. So Google it if you want. You don't have to. No. If you want. Her latest film was in 2019 called Among the Shadows. It got not really any reviews, but there was one.
It's a biopic about her career.
Yeah, seriously. A bad review on Rotten Tomatoes is obvious. And this quote from The Guardian, which might be the funniest review of anybody's acting I think I've ever seen. This writer for The Guardian says that Lohan was, quote, pioneering a bold new acting theory known as never sharing the frame with other characters, so it looks as if all your lines were filmed remotely in a single day, and also being quite rigid and flat and squinting in a manner that suggests you're simply reading just your lines from a card off screen. When this becomes the accepted form of mainstream screen acting in generations to come, and it will, remember where you saw it first.
Jesus.
Fucking tore apart. It's
not
great.
pulling any punches there.
That was a fantastic review. Now, Casey, Lindsay is also an influencer. Okay, she doesn't just act. She doesn't just sing. All these things, but she also tries to help the unfortunate. When the Syrian refugee crisis was happening, she took to the streets. She took to the streets and found a Syrian family, and she tried to help this young boy. I don't know if you heard about this, but go ahead and play the next video. This is her talking to the boy.
Do you want to stay in a hotel tonight? You want to watch movies? Yeah. It'd be so cool, right?
No. Run, kid. Get out of here. This is not... This is... She goes on.
Let me take them. Let them sleep. Come with me. You and me come. Just come. Just come with me.
She's just talking to the kid?
Yeah, she's talking to nobody because they don't understand her at all. They're Syrian refugees. She kind of catches on to that later on. What she doesn't catch on to is how much of a fucking sense of self-unawareness she has, which I really appreciate because I'm plagued by it. Next video.
She's a hardworking woman. I'm freezing right now.
Yeah, fucking pimp. Just a fucking pimp.
Just walk by a homeless guy outside, be like, bro, do you know how cold it is out here? Like, what are you doing?
Man. Hey, what's up, dude? I just wanted to come see if you needed any. God, I'm freezing. After getting out of her car for like 5 minutes. So they leave.
Excuse me, sir? Sir, could you spare $1? I just need a bite to eat. Be like, sir, I'm not stopping to take my wallet out. It's fucking freezing out here. I'm not taking my gloves off.
Can you give me $1? I need some hand warmers. It's freezing out here, dude. You should go inside. You should get home. So they leave, obviously, and she follows, trying to wing Arabic and whatever else.
Look what's happening. They're trafficking children. I won't leave until I take you.
She just did an accent.
After saying garbled nonsense.
She even did
I won't
turkey
leave until I
gobbling
take
noises and then goes Liam Neeson at the end.
I won't leave till I take you. Casey, when all else fails, grab him.
Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
That's right, bitch. Fuck around, find out. She got punched right in the face for trying to kidnap a child out of its mom. They thought they were escaping, and they ended up getting worse treatment by Lindsay Lohan than they ever would have got in Syria.
That's right.
I'm pretty
Karen,
sure
how do we go back to Syria?
Did the boat go back yet? Fuck. All right. I guess we'll hang with this meth bitch.
Wait for the next trip.
Casey, last transformation video.
Wait, why was Reese Witherspoon in there?
Yeah.
Cruella DeVille at the end.
Aw, DC. Come on, man. Why are you crying, DC? Why are you crying? No. Oh, that's right. It's because he misses peak Lindsay. I think we all do. Next image, Casey. Let's end it on a good note. Peak Lindsay Lohan.
Thank you. We all needed that.
R.I.P. Lady, always.
Lady of the night, also always.
Lady of all the nights.
DC. What an episode. That was a blast.
That was good times.
We will be back for you patrons here live. We'll be back here 11 p.m. tomorrow for the normal show. And if you're watching it on video, just, check out them all and tell your friends.
Absolutely. Tell your friends and tell them that every 2 weeks you'll be getting a Lady of the Night. We ran out of podcasts that we were better than. All other podcasts are better than ours.
Tell your friends. We'll beat more podcasts, and then we'll tell you which ones we've then jumped in the rankings.
Right. I had an idea for 1 quick second that was to do shows that beat our ass and just play shit awful shows that got like thousands of views and just get real depressed. So we might do that.
Yeah, like we need more depression. DC. Oh no, this bonus show, you close these.
We brought in 2 absolutely undeniably ladylike ladies, but the search for the Lady of the Night continues.
Suburban women.
I'm looking for a very beautiful white girlfriend.
Meeting adjourned.